guys, I'm sick. Just kidding. I'm not actually sick. I'm fine. This video is to help you guys who are sick. So I'm gonna need some tips on how to deal with this sickness and how to get better really quick. You have probably heard that when you're sick, people tell you to have chicken noodle soup. So you're probably thinking, yeah, they do, and why? That is because that's how you get better a lot faster, and you need to eat. So you're probably thinking, how does that help? Well, the noodles, right? Nope, noodles is not how you get better. Yeah, you're thinking, okay, then the vegetables, right? No, vegetables are always good for you, but I would recommend off them when you're sick. They didn't tell you the most. Actually, the warm broth. Any salty warm broth is like a must-have item when you're sick. Because you think that, well, I eat noodles and vegetables then. It's soup, guys. It's not gonna be just broth. And you do need something salty in you. I wouldn't have noodles or vegetables, but I mean, they're awesome. I'm sick, I eat really easy on my stomach, like potatoes are really good for you when you're sick, actually. And anyway, so that's how you eat tomato soup. So I do not usually eat it, even though I'm sick. I substitute it. Now, you guys think that this is unhealthy for me, but I'm gonna explain. I eat ramen when I'm sick. Like, I eat ramen a lot anyway, but especially when I'm sick. Now, I know you guys are thinking, that's not healthy for you. You can't eat ramen when you're sick. And you're just gonna get more sick. Not exactly. You see, that's what people say. But science, yes, science itself, says otherwise. What's in ramen? Noodles, and vegetables, and broth. You see the pattern here? It's the same as in chicken noodle soup. There can be meat in ramen. I'm not a vegetarian. When I'm sick, I eat vegetarian ramen. Because I'm sick. I'm not eating meat. So then, so what is happening here? So, the vegetarian ramen, it is a soup. I'm getting things salt in me, and I have a salty broth. That is what I'm thinking. And that's what's happening. I'm getting solid food in my body, and having a salty broth. And sure enough, I'm starting to feel better already. I'm not saying that though, but I am sick. So I know people I tell you that ramen don't have it when you're sick, but actually, ramen have it when you're sick. Because science, I kind of seem to say that, but when you look at the science, the actual science of how it works, it says otherwise. And this as proof, it helps me every time. I was sick and I eat ramen. I started feeling better. So yeah, that's why some way to help you get better. Another way is to tell yourself that you're strong. So when you're sick, you gotta acknowledge it. Know that you are sick and this is part of life. It's gonna pass, but someday it's gonna come back. And it's gonna suck. And you guys me. And you have a sore throat. And you just gonna need to swallow your own saliva, but it makes it hurt more, right? Well, get this. I don't know why that was. I already watched my mouth. Wait a minute, what you're saying. Look at this. When you have a sore throat, it sucks, yeah, and you might really swallow, it hurt more. And you can acknowledge that. To say it, Yeah, say it out loud. You are, I know I said, say it. Now you're done with that, you need to accept it. You're sick. It will pass, but it's gonna come back someday. You're gonna be sick again. Well, now that you know that you're sick and you acknowledge that, it's time to show those germs who's the boss. So what are the germs doing? There's the good germs who are trying to defeat the bad germs, or the bad germs who are eating away at your insides. So, what do? When your mom probably tells you to take medicine, you don't want to. Your stomach hurts and you just want to lay in bed and cry. Nope, do it, take medicine. I know what you're thinking. I did the same. I want to take medicine. Also, I told myself that these germs are in my insides, and me, I'm not gonna make an easy meal. So I hope that they like to lose, like, basically all of them. They want to try to eat my insides. I just show those germs that I am not an easy meal. They want to eat someone, go to someone else. Because they ain't eat my insides anytime soon. So they're like destroying you from the inside. That's why you have you eat that inside of you and it attacks the germs. Another thing is sleeping. Taking lots of naps. Now I know you're thinking that's more of a lazy thing, right? Why you sleep? Well, actually, like one pasta, sleeping is gonna help you a lot, because if you sleep, then you're gonna get rest. So when you're sick, it's like a war, a battle with the germs. Who gets to have your body? You or the germs? It's a battle over who gets your body. Your body has to live in it, and the germs in your body because they can eat it. So, what is it gonna be? Simple. You're gonna win if you follow this and sleep. So, sleeping. How? So you're saying, how does sleeping help? Well, sleeping helps because if you're in a battle, how much tell you this? No matter who is trying to hit, take the Rock. The Rock. The wrestler, the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and I don't know how to say, but they have. He is gonna lose all his wrestling matches unless he sleeps. So what is he doing? So when you sleep, you're resting. And, since resting, you're in energy. And that's the thing. That's the catch. If you don't sleep, you'll be tired. And if you're tired, you're weak. And if you're weak, you'll be able to fight. And you'll be able to fight, you deserve to win. That's why you have to take naps, whether you like it or not. Whether you're energetic or not, if you are sick, take naps. And then, I know this is not crazy, but it saves me. Now, you don't have to nap all day long, of course. You can get up sometimes and go to the bathroom, maybe watch a show, play a game. And yep, I said it. Yes, I know. I just said, play a game. But I said, let me go over and turn it down. Why? If you're sick, then why are you playing a game? How's that supposed to help? Well, you're thinking, I can't play a game, right? I gotta rest. If I play a game, I'm gonna be working out. That's gonna make it worse. Actually, it's not. Now, I know you're thinking, we say that I have to be rested. I'm not rested, and I'm working out. I'm gonna get tired. That's true. You get tired, and that's why you rest. You're resting so you can get up and work out, and then you rest for more. So you gotta go with this? You take a nap so you're well rested, and then you work out, and then you get tired, and then you take another nap. So when you're working out, that's giving the germs a really hard time. Like, this is one of these things, it's not how you get over immediately. You have to like work out and make that stop. The germs not gonna stop. When you do that, it annoys them for sure. But they're still gonna keep trying to. There's not enough. They're not nearly enough to make them stop. We're not even do all things. Even if I can kill them, taking naps, get to your rest, so the good germs hold them off, and then you work out and annoys the bad germs. And then, just on top of that, you tell yourself that you're strong. You're not gonna let the germs eat you. You're not gonna be making an easy meal. What that does is that gives you the will strength to keep going. And if you keep going for long enough with all the stuff, the germs will eventually stop. Another thing that actually really helps me when I am sick is, alright now, a lot of I'm crazy, is gagging. I know what you're doing. Whoa, I'm gagging myself? Whoa. Now, I don't know if it works for all of you, but it actually does work for me sometimes. I don't like gag on purpose. Like, I pray, I like God. Do your will with me, if it's not time to die yet, please help me in this sickness and help me as soon as possible. So what does God do? He answers my prayer. Not in the way I was hoping for, but he gets it of it. He makes me gag. And I go into the bathroom. Even if it's just a cold. I gag, I go to the bathroom, and I will vomit into the toilet. So you can, hold on, I'm vomiting. Is that even worse for me? Nope. You know what, when you're like, have a flu and you're vomiting a lot? After the flu is no worse than a cold. I know. You gotta believe me. But after the flu is no worse than a cold. Kind of. Saying flu is a cold, so like, it's all sicknesses, are all sicknesses, like, I don't know, the flu, cold, COVID-19. They're all types of sickness. But, why I dying for the flu and not have a cold? I thought the same thing when I was a kid. What it turns out to be is the flu. So that is like, so the flu is like a cold, it's a really bad, like, COVID-19, you heard it's like a bad cold, right? The flu is like a really, really bad cold. Not as bad as not like deadly bad. I mean, not like COVID-19 deadly. No, it's not deadly. It's still like a really bad cold. And that's why you're vomiting, because you're vomiting because it's so bad. So your body is like, well, whether you like it or not, I'm gonna these germs out of me one way or another. When you vomit, the germs come out with your vomit. Well, I recommend this, and you pray to God and He makes you gag. You're gonna vomit, and I know that you don't like it, but it actually is gonna help a lot. It's gonna get those germs out of you. Another thing, when you are sick, you gotta get some sort of solid food in you, but vegetables and noodles are bad, right? Well, you know what is good to eat? Now, this is a vegetable, but it's different at the same time. Potatoes. Yep. If you're sick, the one thing that you actually do want to eat is, well, there's a few things. One of them is potatoes. I want to eat garlic, actually. Garlic is good for your sick. And also salt is a must have. And do not eat salt straight. Please do not. Please do not eat salt straight. But it still is good to have on you when you're sick. So yeah, if you're sick, the three things you're eating the most are potatoes, some sort of garlic thing, and something salty. Which is why you not have ramen, because ramen is one of the most saltiest dishes in the world. And then another thing. I'm telling you guys the other thing that you're dealing with now. I don't do this one. I know what some people do. Me personally, I do not. But what a lot of do is they actually, they do peroxide. So you use peroxide, you can, dump it in your ear, you put it in your ear, you lay your head like this. What that is doing is that's gonna, get into your brain, or something. I'll actually know for sure. But I do know this much, it gets rid of germs well. And you do it to the other side. I remember when I did peroxide, and it's not gonna fix the problem, no. We have to peroxide, you're already sick. But the germs are gonna hit, it's gonna kill. I can kill a lot of the bad germs. Because I've put peroxide in my ear before, I had a throat. And my throat, oh my gosh, it felt awful after that. But it felt awful for that, it didn't change. But adding half my throat, half of it, felt the same as it always does. So the other half was sore. The high throat is fine. Yeah. Sounds crazy, but it's true. So that's a good trick. Now, lastly, this is maybe the hardest part. It's worse than the sore throat. I know, it's already awful. But this is the hardest part. What would it be? The fever. So, what is the fever? As a kid, I thought it was a type of sickness. I was wrong. The fever. It is. So, when you're when you're sick and you feel really sick and you're sweating, that is the fever. So what is the fever? The fever, it's not sickness. It's an aftermath. When you have fever, get yourself a pat on the back. You are no longer sick. You feel sick. Hey, what? I'm not sick. I feel sick, right? So a fever is your body recovering. So yeah, it's gonna feel awful. I'm not blaming you. I hate fevers. But I have here, that means that my body is just recovering from the fever. It's not wrong with my body. I'm just recovering, that's all. So, and you have here, know that you've gotten through it, and you just need to wait for this fever to pass. And you can get back to what you're doing. Back to your normal life. You're not sick anymore. Anyways, that's all I have that helps me. I hope it helped you. And if you're sick right now, I'll tell you, man, it's gonna get better. Okay? Don't worry. You're gonna get through this. I promise. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. And, what I said, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Till then, as always, peace. No, this is the end. Normal things that hot towers help, and goodbye.